Ooh. Thank you, President Healy. I'd like a copy of that introduction. I want to send it to my mom. Chancellor Monahan, President Healy, distinguished faculty, parents, families, and friends who have sacrificed so much to make this day possible, and most especially to the graduating students in the class of 2009. Congratulations to all of you. I am truly honored to be with you today for your commencement from one of the finest universities in the world. You have no idea what this means to me, dear students. I'm going to get all choked up. But we can edit that out of the tape later. The philosophy of the curriculum at Ave Maria University is based on the principle that the unity of faith and reason as articulated by Pope John Paul II in his encyclical Fides et Ratio. The rigorous academic program that you have just completed presents the disciplines of study not in isolation from one another, but in such a way that each casts light on the other. During your studies at Ave Maria, you have aspired not only to human truth, but to Christian wisdom and to moral excellence. The goal of Ave Maria is to form young men and women according to the heart of the Church, to mold them intellectually, spiritually, and morally, and this year's class incarnates that intention to a fine degree. Class of 2009, I want to commend you because you displayed great faith before you ever arrived at Ave Maria University. You came here with the faith that the university, which at the time was located at an interim facility originally intended to be an assisted living community. You arrived here in faith that eventually that would become a beautiful brand new campus on 1,000 acres in eastern Collier County. But when you first arrived, that beautiful campus was a tomato field. When you came for your campus tour, you saw our interim campus, which consisted of 3 residence halls, 2 modular buildings, and a small clubhouse that functioned as cafeteria. There's a chapel in there, a student union, recreation center, functioned as everything. Now, while many things at the old campus were convenient, you could wake up 5 minutes before class and still be early. You could get a cell phone reception anywhere on campus. You could sit outside and not worry about becoming Thanksgiving feast for the mosquitoes. And you could watch intramural athletic games from your dorm room window, many of you. But I'm sure that when you first arrived and you saw campus for the first time as a student, you thought to yourself, well, is this a real college? You know, when you arrived, there were 355 students. When you got here for orientation in August of 2005. And yet you came and you stayed, and you believed that what was taking place at Ave Maria was something special. You came because you shared in the vision of Mr. Monahan to help found one of the finest liberal arts universities in the Catholic tradition. You came because you were passionate about seeking truth, or because your parents forced you. Either way, very excited. Class of 2009, you are graduating in the year of St. Paul. When Pope Benedict XVI dedicated this year to St. Paul, he said that the apostles' courageous witness to the faith should serve as a model for contemporary Christians. The Pope said, quote, "His faith is not a theory, an opinion about God and the world. His faith is the impact of God's love on his heart. And so this same faith is love for Jesus Christ." One of the gifts that St. Paul offers to the church is his clear understanding of the vocation that belongs to every Christian. And very often when we hear the word vocation, a lot of us think immediately of priests and religious. But vocation quite simply means a call, which you all know now because you graduated from Ave Maria University. And God calls all of us. He calls us into life through love, and love demands a response. In some deep part of our being, we recognize that we are loved and that until we live lives of love, we are somehow incomplete. So our vocation, whatever that may be, whatever state of life it is, our vocation is to love. St. Paul taught us this in the famous passage from his first letter to the Corinthians. "If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith, so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all my possessions, and if I hand over my body so that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing." So during this year of St. Paul, each one of us is invited to reflect on the Christian's vocation to love. Each and every one of us was created for a specific purpose, and that is to pour our lives out in love and service to others. For life to have any meaning at all, this is what and how we need to live. For only in giving ourselves away in love do we find out who we were created to be, who we really are, and Jesus Christ is the ultimate example of this for us. Class of 2009, I have had the privilege of witnessing you live out your vocation to love during your time here at Ave Maria. I have the best job on campus. I'm Dean of Students and I get to teach. And so I see you in the classroom, but then I see you outside of the classroom a lot, much to some of your chagrin. But I want to note a few things that your parents should know. But I've seen you witness this vocation to love, and these are the ways that I've seen it. Many of you have gotten up early on Saturday mornings to build homes for the poor with Habitat for Humanity. You've witnessed to the dignity of each human life by sidewalk counseling and praying for the women and their unborn children in front of the abortion clinic. You've ministered to the elderly in nursing homes. You've served coffee and donuts at 4 a.m. to migrant workers in Immokalee before they headed into the fields. You volunteered at Our Lady of Guadalupe Soup Kitchen. You participated in household life. You've gone on mission trips to the third world. And most importantly to me, you have evangelized your peers on a daily basis. You have evangelized your peers, especially the many, many, many freshmen. And you did this all because you love. I'm truly humbled when I look at the example you have set for us all at Ave Maria. By living out your vocation to love, you have left an indelible mark on this institution and on each and every one of us who had the privilege of accompanying you during your time with us at the university. I want to thank all of you for what you've contributed. You will not be forgotten, and you have made us all very proud. In his letter to the youth, Delecti Amici, Pope John Paul II said that, quote, Jesus is not an idea, a sentiment, a memory. Jesus is a person, always alive and present with us. This is what education is all about. This is the meaning of life, to know Christ. It is my hope that you will experience what the gospel means when it says, Jesus looking upon him loved him. May you experience a look like that. May you experience the truth that he, Christ, looks upon you with love. End quote. It is my prayer for you, dear graduates, that you have experienced this loving look of Christ while here at Ave Maria. Whether it was through a friend, a teacher, a priest, or religious, whether it was at Mass, at adoration, or in confession, whether it was while you were on a retreat or in the dorm hanging out with your friends. I want you to remember that loving look of Christ and take it with you, secure in the knowledge that you are loved. Jesus Christ loves you by name. Most of the problems we see in the world today are caused because people forget that most fundamental truth. And while I hope that you have encountered Christ in a deep and personal way while you were here at Ave Maria, and that you will continue to seek his face as you step out into the world, it is also my prayer that you become that loving look of Christ to those around you. That you become that loving look of Christ to those you meet in the grocery store, at work, and in the gym. We must strive day by day to live up to our vocation and to adapt our lives more and more to the demands of this divine call. And this is exactly what the world needs today. And this is exactly what your education and your experience at Ave Maria has prepared you to become that loving look of Christ to a world in desperate need to be reminded of that loving look. As St. Bernard of Clairvaux says, quote, the greatness of each soul is judged by the measure of love that it has. He who has great love is great. He who has little love is little. And he who has no love is nothing. The vocation to love is not easy, for love requires suffering. Yet let us take courage from the example of St. Paul, who selflessly poured out his life in the service of love. Graduates, may you do the same as you leave Ave Maria University. The world will offer you alternatives for life's true meaning. And when the world offers you those alternatives, please remember this, that whatever the world offers you, Jesus has something better. We love you, graduates of 2009. We're going to miss you, and I know I'm going to miss you. God bless.